Grace Dahl, 25 years old. I'm a techno DJ producer based in Amsterdam. Been living here since I was about 8 or 9 years old. I was born in Budapest, Hungary. I'm half Finnish, half Hungarian. And around 1.5, 2 years old, we moved to Marbella in Spain. And that's where I had a small portion of my upbringing before we moved to Amsterdam. I've been playing for about 7 years now. Yeah, when I started, I was still quite into melodic techno, and it was a lot slower and definitely not where it is at now. There's definitely a lot of groove in my sets. I love playing a lot of the old school techno, a lot of hard groove, some specks of acid here and there. And I do like playing a little bit of the harder techno sometimes, but that's more when I'm playing for bigger crowds. Every fiber that I have is based around music already since I was super young. The first time I heard techno music was in my mom's belly. My parents were quite involved in electronic music industry while organizing events. But actually, when she was high pregnant, like 7 months, they were at a party where Josh Wink was playing. That has been told to me at least. And I think that's actually the first time ever I heard it through the womb. I know it sounds cheesy, but it's my whole entire being, and it's the only thing I know. When I was younger, it was more focused on old school hip hop, and I used to also sing a lot and a lot of jazzy blues kind of influences. And I wanted to become a singer when I was young. I mean, I'm sure who didn't, but that was something I was busy with a lot. And I played guitar that I learned myself through YouTube tutorials. So I was always busy with music. I knew that it's something, whatever I'm gonna do in life is gonna be based around music. The first time I was hearing techno or anything electronic music based was through my father playing at home.
She was standing in my record crate, when she was like 3 years old, she's dancing like a little baby, almost cannot walk, but dancing, yeah. And not only dancing, but also like giving like an expression that it's good. We always had a setup like this wherever we were living, and when she was like 11, I said, "Don't you want to learn this?" And yeah, she was not ready for that,
Then when I was around 15, I met my current partner, and he was really into techno and the more kind of modern techno, like those days, like Joseph Capriati and anything in that genre. And I started going to parties with him. And one of the first, I remember a moment where I really thought like, wow, I really, really dig this style, was at a UK techno special at Awakenings, 2014. And I believe it was Gary Beck playing back-to-back with Broom, and then Surgeon and Shifted were playing after. And I was just like, wow, that was like the revelation moment for me. Like, okay, they can do this. I believe in myself that I could do this too, because I've been brought up with it. I have a feeling for it. I'm in the best place for me, in my opinion, in the world to pursue a career like this. So I thought, why not? And I was thinking, okay, I can of course learn how to DJ from my dad, but
we both knew that that's not going to happen, that I'm learning her, because that's going to be like a, fight. So we knew that she has to go to DJ school.
So I decided to follow a course on that school based on DJing and producing. So I also got production lessons there. At least so I knew from the start that I was being taught it from like the base of the base, and that I get it taught right away how it's supposed to be. The first techno tracks that I started purchasing were by Goncalo M and David Moleon. And why was because they have a certain hard groove element, especially the older tracks like between 2005 and 2010, that I also wasn't really hearing that much. So I thought like, yeah, this is definitely a good sound for me to build my repertoire on.
In the beginning, she was playing like music. It was okay, but not my favorite. But at the moment, she's playing my favorite music. I wish I could have played that kind of music.
My dad had a residency at the club called Club NL in Amsterdam, and he was having his own all-nighter actually. And that was one of my first gigs ever. He had the opportunity to invite me over there, and they were open to the idea. I just kind of finished my course at the DJ School Amsterdam, and that was the first time I actually laid my hands on a controller in the club.
Yeah, she was trying first, but then it was all good, you know?
Yes, I was very nervous. I remember he called it, which is completely accurate, he called it, like the way I was touching the buttons, like piss fingering. I don't know where you got that term from. So I was just like really slowly pushing up the buttons and like shaking while I was doing it, you know, so totally different than how I play now. I used to prepare almost the whole set beforehand because I was just so nervous, and I thought, oh, okay, you know, I need to practice everything thoroughly. And that did help me a lot in the start, I must say. These days, preparation is much looser. I almost can't prepare anymore. It has happened so many times before that I prepared and then I ended up doing something completely different because I'm just going through my history of the sets that I played before, and I follow the crowd. The crowd leads me, you know, I'm there to make them dance. But every now and then, so example with an all-nighter or a specific type of like location that I feel like, okay, my normal sets maybe won't be completely what they need to hear here, then I do prepare. So I'm envisioning the club in front of me, I'm envisioning it to be full packed, I'm envisioning what's being played before me. So I can look up what they're playing, and then I kind of feel like, okay, they can end here or they can end here. And then I base my start of the set on that. And usually for me, the most important is like the first 5 tracks, because I just want the start to be solid, because you need to catch the crowd in that moment. You need to have them with you from that moment, because from there on, once you have them, you can basically do anything and I'll feel comfortable enough to do that. I would like my music to be a very serious experience for the people that come and visit my sets. Of course, it's fun as well, but I definitely want to bring across a certain message and create a space where someone can completely let go of anything that they're dealing with, any worries that they have. And I'm sure that's what we all want to do, I would hope, at least as DJs. But for me, especially since I focused on this career solely, since I quit my job, it has become super emotional, therapeutic, and almost a religious experience for me. So that's what I hope to also bring across. I think Basis is such a lovely club. It's such a great sound. The crowd is always really open-minded. It's also a special club to me, since it's one of the first gigs that I played during the pandemic, and the clubs were allowed to open briefly. And one of those gigs were at Basis, and it was still one of the best experiences I've had. And I played like a 3-hour closing from 8 until 11 a.m. and it was still pretty packed. So I'll always be grateful to Basis for that. And I love the atmosphere there. So it's a special club to me for sure. Definitely an all-nighter is intense, but I feel like Basis is a very comfortable place for me to do it. And I'm sure that the crowd will be open to hearing an 8-hour set by me there. What I have prepared is, of course, a slight featuring of my father during the night. It's an amazing thing that we get to share this together, let alone actually present it in a club during one of my all-nighters. It was something that I could never imagine.
It's a father-daughter moment, I guess, and it's beautiful that we can play in a nice club.
So I'm hoping to bring some vinyls with me, and sound-wise, it will be everything that I own. So that can be a little bit more of the hypnotic, deeper techno, definitely of course, more faster, hard techno, hard groove, old school, acid, maybe even a little sprinkle of trance, who knows. So it's, it's gonna be everything that I have, all of my styles in 8 hours. And a lot of power, always.
It's like 140 BPM, boom, boom, boom type of situation.
Boom, boom situation.
Yeah, boom, boom music. We were kind of in high spirit, you know, and it was just like out of the curiosity. We just put in this thing, and it was like, wow, this is the best music ever. You know? No, I'm her dad.
I'm her dad.
And I am her dad.
I am her dad.
Me,
okay.
I'm her dad.
All right, so.
I'm a dad.